Oh, hell yes. I got the lesson planner, but I don't own the music. It's Neil Young. Helpless, helpless, helpless. Yeah. But I'm gonna have to keep this brief because I'm being summoned to the Batcave. I was, I don't know if the thumbnail's getting. The thumbnail is a stunt dog. My brothers and sisters from the HP. They remember that crazy hippie, and they remember the stunt dog, my bestest buddy. I'm sure they'll be. I'm sure they'll be glad, happy to find out that some of the little Lake Con sex cult conference participants, minions, murdered my buddy. I'm sure they'll be glad to find that out. Anyway, to the point here. I was and I'm who the fuck am I to ask anybody for anything, right? I'm not in a position to request participation from anyone, but I goddamn sure will, because I'm just that kind of a pompous ass. This climate change, global warming, geoengineering, weather warfare argument that's ongoing. That's they're, as I said, dang it, chug-a-lugging the coffee and hot chocolate, trying to warm myself, catch my second wind before I go to the back cave, right? So that's more classified information, I promise you. You impotent faggots wish you had my problem. I was just thinking, along the lines of as typical of the the hippie that would no matter the thread, especially the threads where people were just ripping each other a new one, shredding ass, and usually there was some validity in arguments from both sides, which is usually the case. That's the way it's set up, right? So everyone can feel that they're correct in their position. They can point to something to justify that sentiment. And we'll say notorious for I got a song for everything, right? Music has been my friend all my life. I spent years operating equipment, and that's all you got, right? So, especially in those kind of scenarios, it's just a way to slow down the fight for a minute. Just pull a song that there was a line out of it, the chorus, the title, the something. There was something that fit, and just to get people to just slow down just a second, hear what you're saying. And along those lines, I was thinking, and again, I am in no position to ask anyone for anything. Why would anyone listen to me if they are at all? But it was I don't even remember, it's been several months, and there was a discussion between two men that, in my opinion, are both honorable. They're both men of integrity. They've invested, years of their lives um, gathering information, compiling it, and dispersing it to others in an attempt to, educate the masses as to what they saw as a threat. And I tend to agree with both of them. For the most, I can find very little that I disagree with, and from, in either party. And a discussion that I was really looking forward to devolved into, it just made me sad to see it. Two wise men got caught in a trap it's set for us, and we've all done it. I've said it a million times, I'll say it a million more. There are no windows in my glass house. My sermons come from my little soapbox in the leper's pit. I'm not judging anyone, because we've all done it. And the system, the machine, it's rigged to where, there's that snare. And you have to go out of your way putting effort into avoiding that goddamn trap. And anyway, what a conversation, a discussion I was so excited to hear, just left me, my heart sank. And so, again, I have I'm in no position, I have no authority, no nothing to ask anyone, and if anyone's listening at all. But and I'll start with the quote, the Aristotle quote. It's the mark of an educated mind to entertain a thought without accepting it. From that, in that context, with that as our foundation, I'm asking, like I said, two men that I respect, the both of them, for all the hard work they've done. And that would be Mr. Dave Wigington and Mr. Patrick Wood. Mr. Wood tells us about the technocrats, Technocracy Inc., Technocracy Rising. He's invested years of his life, as I said, compiling information, putting it together, and it's documented, footnoted, whatever. It's you can't really argue with it because it's so obvious now. In my opinion, you'd have to be a goddamn just again stupid. By my definition, it is willful ignorance, right? That's the only way that you can not see what he's pointing to. And as I said, the Mr. Wigington has done the same thing with the Geoengineering Watch, with the climate as a weapon, the weather warfare. He's done the same thing. And while both, as I listen to this discussion go back and forth and just devolve, and as the jaws of the trap ensnared two wise men, who I heard agreeing for the most part. There were, little items of contention that they got hung up on. But for the most part, and again, this is just, I heard two men agreeing. And, just like I say, it made me sad. But I would ask, if possible, if anyone out there in the YouTube universe could pass the word along, if it be possible for another conversation to be had. I see Mr. Wood's point as Mr. Mr. Wigington fits the description of the technocrat. I mean, he just does, right? I also see Mr. Wigington's position on the anthropogenic global warming, and I he's right. I mean, we all have to give a little. You know, I'm not asking anybody to admit to anything, or I don't no self-incrimination, no nothing. Can we just have a do-over? Everybody's, everybody's got room to give, but we all need to goddamn get together on something, because they're killing us. They're killing mom and every living organism she sustains. And fighting over small stuff, however big we may perceive it to be, is counterproductive. Again, and I so often point to my brother and sister at True Stream Media, because I swear they're angels for the work they do. Again, footnoted, well documented. There's no arguing how they put this together, because they've got it together. And in an effort to avoid that snare, I would offer a suggestion of those two, because if ever there was a neutral, because they've documented both sides of that, right? And so I don't see that they have a dog in the fight, except for the same dog that we all have in the fight. And if they would be kind enough, giving them their time to act as moderators, right? So we can have a conversation, because that's what we need to have. We need to get rid of this, the climate change, the global warming, all that. Sure, we know that the media pushes it on us as this, with this, their whole point is punching buttons. I've gone back to the trigger, and that, implies conditioning. And the whole point of them punching your buttons is to elicit an emotional response. Because then you behave irrationally. You're much easier manipulated. And and we've got to, goddamn it, we've got to do something about it. We've got to, get around that some way. And I don't know how. I'm making suggestions, right? I'm thinking out loud. Talking to yourself gets you a goddamn ticket to the loony bin, so we think out loud around here. But that's, as I said, I got Neil Young playing, and I was gonna butcher a song or two, but I got business to take care of. And when a dear one calls, I got business. There's priorities, and that's all I can say. But I don't know. I think this negotiating thing is not my strong suit, right? But here I sit, and again, Mr. Wood, I tell you, you see a man who spends all night beating them to save the life of trees, who hunker down with Bucky and the ducks to save them. And sir, you can argue that is not a psychopath. That is a man. That's just a goddamn old tree-hugging hippie like myself. A psychopath doesn't give a fuck if the ducks die. And the technocrats are psychopaths, and again, in my opinion, they don't give a fuck if the ducks die. They just tally that into the stats. It's just another statistic to them. And so I get your point, but I ask you to hear mine and see if you can argue. I know you can't, because I guarantee you there's no technocrat freezes their fucking balls off, hunker down in a goddamn cage with some ducks, spends the night whipping manufactured snow off the tree. That's that they're just not capable of that. They they're devoid of anything resembling the human emotion or feeling. And Mr. Wigington isn't, and neither is Mr. Wood. And I love you both. Excuse me. Like I said, I've been summoned to the Bat Cave. And I appreciate your time. And I am honored to just be part of the ongoing conversation in whatever twisted way I am. Know that I love you.